Here are today's top stories from the Pna Headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. appoints retired Supreme Court Justice Andres Reyes Jr. to lead the independent probe on anomalous flood control projects. The Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Anti-Money Laundering Council join forces to audit firms and persons involved in anomalous infrastructure works. The iconic Love Bus returns with free rides for commuters in Metro Manila. Bacolod gears up for inclusive celebration of the 46th MassKara Festival. This is the Pna Headlines. I am William Theo. We begin with developments on the government's investigation into irregularities in multi-billion peso flood control projects. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has appointed retired Supreme Court Justice Andres Reyes Jr. as chair of the newly established Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI. The commission is tasked with investigating the reported anomalies in the flood control initiatives. During a palace briefing on Monday, President Marcos Jr. highlighted Justice Reyes' distinguished career in the judiciary, his commitment to justice, and his reputation for integrity, all of which made him the ideal choice to lead the commission. Reyes began his career as a trial judge in 1987. He was promoted to Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals in 1999 and then served as its presiding justice from 2010. In 2017, he was appointed to the Supreme Court. Alongside Justice Reyes, former Public Works Secretary Rogelio Singson and SGV and Company Executive Rosana Fajardo will join the ICI. Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong will serve as the Commission's consultant. In his remarks, the President stressed the ICI will operate independently from Malacanang and will meet daily to streamline its processes. Marcos also emphasized that the Commission is expected to submit its findings and recommendations promptly to help guide crucial reforms in infrastructure spending.
I'm very encouraged because nung nakausap ko sila, all of them are in agreement that we have to move very quickly. And we have to get something done as quickly as possible. Hindi pwedeng mapanis lahat itong information na binigay ng taong bayan doon sa isumbong mo sa Pangulo. Kaya patuloy, sabi namin, bilisan na lang talaga ninyo.
In related news, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, and the Anti-Money Laundering Council, or AMLC, will work together to investigate companies and persons involved in anomalous flood control projects. In a statement, the BIR said Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr. and AMLC Executive Director Matthew David led a meeting with auditors and investigators on September 12. The BIR is in close coordination with AMLC in conducting the tax fraud audit of contractors, public officials, and private individuals involved in spurious infrastructure projects. Lumagi said the joint investigation would uncover possibilities of undeclared wealth that may lead to the filing of tax evasion and money laundering charges. The BIR is also coordinating with the Department of Public Works and Highways, the Commission on Audit, and other government agencies. Lumagi added that it is ready to cooperate with the investigation of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police, or PNP, will provide security during inspections by the Department of Public Works and Highways on major flood control projects. Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla said Sunday that the PNP will only provide protection against credible threats and will not be involved in technical matters. He said these include providing security for DPWH officials and engineers involved in the inspections. Moving on to other reports, the iconic Love Bus is back on the streets of Metro Manila, offering free rides starting this month. President Marcos Jr. led the relaunch of the Love Bus free ride program at the Valenzuela Gateway Complex in Valenzuela City marking his 68th birthday on Saturday. The president arrived at the event aboard one of the Love Bus units, joined by First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos and their son Joseph Simon. In his speech, President Marcos Jr. encouraged commuters to take advantage of the new Love Bus, highlighting its benefits on saving time, cutting transportation costs, reducing traffic, and lowering pollution. The revamped fleet of 20 electric Love buses will offer free rides through September 30. After that, regular commuters can continue to ride for free during peak hours from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Persons with disabilities and senior citizens can avail themselves of free rides at all given times. To hop on, commuters must first register via the Love Bus mobile app, available on Android now and on the Apple App Store starting next week. The Love Bus will operate daily from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Marcos first announced the revival of the Love Bus, a project of former First Lady Imelda Marcos in the 1970s during his fourth State of the Nation address on July 28. The Love Bus was the country's first air-conditioned bus service with fixed stops and scheduled trips, and now returning as a modern alternative to jeepneys and regular buses. An inclusive celebration, that's what organizers of the MassKara Festival promised on its 46th year, set on October 1 to 19. With the theme One Smile, One City, One Heart, the grand launch was led by Bacolod Mayor Greg Gasataya and Festival Director Rodney Mitz Ascalon at Roy's Hotel and Convention Hotel on Saturday. The celebration will showcase all events of the 19-day celebration, described as the most community-driven and people-centered edition yet. Ascalon said the most unique feature for this year is that the festival will concentrate on the roots and the heart of the celebration, which is the people. The 2025 edition will highlight sectoral events, including special programs honoring persons with disabilities, market vendors, tricycle drivers, senior citizens, and grassroots singers and dancers. The grand launch took place 2 days after nearly 1,000 residents of Barangay 27 lost their homes to a fire. This tragedy is considered by Gasataya to be similar to MV Don Juan tragedy and the sugar industry crisis in the early 1980s that led to the birth of the MassKara Festival. In our business news, the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, has entered into a strategic partnership with DHL Group Philippines to boost the export readiness of micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, across the country. On September 10, DTI's Expert Marketing Bureau Director Bianca Pearl Sikimte and DHL Express Philippines Managing Director Nigel Lockett finalized the Memorandum of Understanding, paving the way for improved global trade opportunities for Filipino businesses. As part of the agreement, DHL will provide comprehensive trade solutions through its business units. The International Express Shipping and Customs Facilitation via DHL Express, air and ocean freight forwarding through DHL Global Forwarding, and contract logistics and warehouse management under DHL Supply Chain. The signing ceremony coincided with Usapang Exports, Export 101, Your Guide to Going Global with DHL Group, and information session for food exporters at the DHL Ortigas Service Center, Pasig City. The information session and MOU signing also launch a series of activities under DHL Go Trade and SME Capacity Building Program. These will include training workshops, consultations, and market intelligence sharing to equip Filipino exporters with the knowledge and tools needed to compete globally. And in other news, a Japanese wellness company will invest 4 billion pesos to build 10 retirement facilities in various parts of the Philippines. The DTI said the initial facility will be established by Nambu Company Limited in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu. The investment is supported by the Create More, or Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises, Maximize Opportunities for Reinvigorating the Economy Act, and involves training Filipino caregivers to meet Japanese standards. Create More broadens incentives to help boost economic recovery, support enterprises, and attract foreign investment. Details of the investment plan were discussed during a meeting between Philippine officials and members of the wellness company in Osaka, Japan on Thursday. Trade Secretary Cristina Roque said the investment supports the government's bid to increase high-value industries, drive job creation, and strengthen the country's position as a premier retirement and wellness destination in the region. And those are the latest and the biggest stories from the PNA headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. You may also watch the PNA headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. Stay with us for more updates. I am William Theo. This is the PNA headlines, bringing you stories that unite the nation.